Do you know what this is? This is the Gold Rat Mini Highbanker. What's up guys, Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospecting. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. It's great to see your smiling face. And if you're an old moldy hat like this one, welcome back. On today's episode, I've taken delivery of one of the first Gold Rat Mini Highbankers. How cool is this thing? And basically when I started seeing them pop up in the US and Canada, I wanted to get my hands on one to suit the type of prospecting that I do regularly. But it was cost prohibitive and I have been unable to get my hands on such a unit until today. Gold Rat from Australia have developed this brand new Highbanker. It is absolutely tiny and it suits my needs down to a T. I want to say first off, is in no way, shape or form a review. I like to use products before I give a review. This is definitely just me coming out here and trying the equipment out. I will give you a bit of a first impressions look at what I do, but for the most part, we're just going to see how it functions. We're going to throw a bit of dirt through it, hopefully collect a little bit of gold, and by the end of it, you'll get to see the little mini banker in action. This is the spot that I am working. Now, I haven't even done a test band here. This is just an inside bend. It's got some nice tree roots coming out of here. We've got large gravels. We've got fast water clearly over here. And I'm running off a battery bilge pump at the moment. I do have plans to upgrade this to a little tiny 1-inch petrol engine in the near future. But because of that battery, what I'm going to do is actually prep my ground, prep as much ground as I can, and then just feed it through the Highbanker slowly. I don't have to worry about moving rocks and all that sort of stuff. And that's mostly because I'm on a time limit. I literally have 45 minutes. So I'm going to spend about half my time prepping and then the other half of my time working the dirt. All right, let's get to it. Straight off the bat, the build quality of that Highbanker is absolutely phenomenal. The welds are good and the over-engineering when it comes to its customization is huge. Like those legs, for instance, you can do a lot of things with those legs, more than any other set of legs that I know of, and that's saying a lot. The reason that I have been wanting a mini Highbanker is quite simple. The type of prospecting I do takes me very remote, and I've got a heap of little niggling injuries that I've collected that mean that I can't carry a ton of weight without getting extremely fatigued quite quickly. Now my prospecting is all about working smarter and not harder, and that means I do a lot of test panning to find areas that I can work quite easily that will still net me a good amount of gold for the effort that I'm able to put in. And often this means that I will utilize a river sluice. Now river sluices are fantastic. I will never ever be without one. However, river sluices inherently create extra work for you. First, you have to find a spot that the river sluice can operate in, and that could be some distance away from the area that you're taking your dirt. Second, a lot of river sluices require classification of their material before you can run it down so it efficiently catches the gold, and therefore you've got to bring in buckets and you've got to put in more manual labor to just collect your dirt. You then have a major issue when it comes to things like summer here in Australia where there isn't even enough water to run a river sluice, yet alone set it up in the right area. And that's where these mini highbankers come in handy, is I'm now going to be able to set these things up in nothing more than a pool. I can set it up right next to where I'm working, so I don't even have to worry about the water flow, and to beat everything, I don't have to drag buckets into the bush. These are some of the fundamental reasons that I chose a small high banker. Again, I'm going to do a full review video of this in the near future, and we've got some special sort of competition fundraiser things coming up to do with this sluice, so all these will be in a future video. Keep your eyes out for that. In the meantime, let's get digging. I'm going to do a test pan. I've only got a little bit of time left, but I want to know if I'm even digging any gold. What did you get, Dad? Ah, son, we got a 22 bullet and half dozen little micro dots from just 2 half unclassified shovels. So 1 unclassified shovel, which is a good amount for a test. I wouldn't really mind this place with a high banker normally, but again, it's just for a test today. I literally have about 5 more minutes before I have to go home. So I'm going to dig like mad and then do a quick clean out. I'm just letting the Mini 6 do a little bit of self-clearing for about a minute or so. I always do this even with my river sluices. It reduces the concentrates just a touch more, and I think it's important to do it with a high banker as well. I ran 46 shovels. Is that quicker than a river sluice? Yes, way quicker than a river sluice. One way to clean out the sluice run. Here we go. A lot of ironstone, really good sign for the ironstone. There's that 22 round that I had before. Wow, look at the fine gold. There is a lot of fine gold in that top corner there. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad for like a 45, 46 shovel run. Let me just zoom you in a little bit. Look at that. That is a good result for a really, really short run. Nice. What a cracking little session. No test pans, just looked at it and went, oh yeah, set up a brand new sluice and caught this kind of gold. Just look at how fine some of that gold is up there. We've got a couple of nicer bits as well, and my 22 round. Let's hear that nugget drop. And to get all of that on the maiden run of this sluice has been fantastic. My initial thoughts, the spray bar that's on it isn't actually designed for that sluice, so I need to custom make one to fit. I have been told though that Dustin is currently working on a spray bar setup for this sluice system, so that's not really a problem. It's just very early days in this sluice's development. The legs are actually quite complex. This isn't necessarily a negative thing, it just takes a little bit of getting used to set them up, and it's for a simple reason that they're designed to actually be used on many different types of sluices from Gold Rat. It's not really a negative, just something to take note of. The actual support system that holds the hopper box up, in my personal opinion, is too short. I would actually like to see something that was a little bit steeper, or at least had the ability to be adjusted like the legs. We still had magnificent flow and the sluice worked perfectly. I've probably got sub 200 mesh gold in that pan, and that goes to show you that just like all the other drain mats I've used, it's excellent at catching that super fine stuff. Once it's all bolted together, it's incredibly simple to use, and I really appreciate that. The hopper box is big enough to take a full-size shovel, although because of its small size, it's not a quantity machine after all. You've got to hit the right spot. It does need some feathering with your feeding. At first I was dumping a lot of material onto it just to see what it could take, and it couldn't take like 2 or 3 shovels at once. What I ended up having to do is put a shovel on, just clear some of the big rocks, put a shovel on, clear some of the big rocks, and it's still way faster than river sluicing. I am looking forward to doing a full review on this sluice after I get a few sessions under my belt and muck around with the setup and whatnot and dial it in. You may have noticed over the last 4 or so months that I have been using a certain type of creek shoe, and I'm absolutely in love. This brand is called a leader, and they've designed a shoe that instead of trying to keep your feet dry, they allow your feet to get wet and water to drain straight back out of the shoe so you dry quicker. And we all know what it's like when you go out with a hiking shoe and you've stepped through a creek like that one down there and you're left with wet soggy shoes all day. It's about as good as hitting your thumb with a hammer. Well, these shoes don't suffer from that problem, and they're incredibly durable. I've been using mine for the last 4.5 months. I've been shoveling with them, slamming my foot onto the back of the shovel, cutting them through blackberries, going through gauze, sharp bedrock, all sorts of things, and they're still kicking. But Elita have actually released a new series of shoes that have been reinforced, believe it or not, and they look absolutely stunning. I'm using them today on my feet, and they've given me the opportunity to give all of my subscribers 15% off just by using the code Vo-Gus15 at their checkout. The link is in the description below. Go and have a look. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you feel up to it, remember to hit that like, share and subscribe button. And if you don't, I hope you did enjoy it. Peace, and I'm out.